Hello and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm demonstrating how I managed to straighten out some bent fins. As you can see in this one, I've got quite a nasty dong there, which is sort of quite common on older bikes, and this one I've managed to do. There's still a little bit more to do, but that was bent so far down it was actually, that was nearly touching the fin below it, and I managed to get it out. And it's a tricky job because as you probably know, very often if you try and straighten them out they snap, and then you have to get it welded. So what I did with this, I used a chisel because obviously there's a taper on it, and I put it down there. It was, when I started doing it, it was in about that far, and it's gone in that much further from there to sort of there just by pushing it out. So, and then I heated it up with my blowtorch, obviously got it nice and hot, but kept knocking it down a little bit at a time, and I actually put this behind it to support that thing because it's quite a nice fit. So then I was banging it down like that, only a slight amount each time, keeping the heat on, and slowly pulled it back. In fact, it takes a long time to do, so I'll have to sort of edit this video because I'm going to do the same job now on this one, as you can see. So yeah, that needs sorting. So here we go. So for a start, again I shall use the chisel. I'll get it hot. So you can use oxyacetylene, would be quicker, but the trouble is with that, it gets so hot sometimes it could just melt the alley, whereas this is unlikely to actually melt it. It'll get hot. It needs to be hot, really quite hot, to do anything. But aluminium does bend when it's hot, but it's very tricky. So this will take some time to heat up, so I'll pause it for a sec and come back when it's hot enough. So I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 minutes, I should think. It's pretty hot now. I've just put the chisel in there. I'll give it a bit more heat because the chisel, putting the chisel in is probably, a cold chisel has probably cooled it down a bit, so I want to make sure it's still hot. And I should just tap this in slowly. As I say, it's a wedge shape, so obviously it's I'll turn it round. I'm only doing it a piece at a time, keeping the heat on. The last thing I want is this to snap. Put this behind now to just stabilise the fin below it, to give it a bit of support. I'm wedging this in more and more just to take a photograph of that so you can see. Keeping the heat on it. It's important not to rush it, not to use anything like, you know, pliers to bend it back. It'll just snap. It's just a gradual process of tapping this in a fraction at a time, slowly, slowly, slowly pushing it out. And it's slowly coming out successfully. Turn that off for a second, see how hot it is. Yep, that's hot. So yeah, it's nearly out. Just keep tapping this in slowly, keeping the heat on. As you can see, I'm not exactly whacking it hard because that would just break. It's almost out now. I'm going to let it cool for a bit, check it, and then do it again. So I'm back on this one, just giving it a little bit more. It only needs a little tiny bit, but I'm pretty confident it will go that last little bit. This is gentle tapping, keeping it nice and hot. I think that'll do. I think that's out. Completely flat there now. And that's really pleasing because that was really sort of bent down. Something had looked like something had fallen up against it, whacked it that way and bent it in. And that one as well. Is that cooled down enough now? No, it's a bit hot to touch still. Let's get me a bit of rag. Let's move that one. I'll leave that in there while it's cooling. And you can see that looks pretty good now. Well, I'm pleased with it. That's good enough. Once this is vapor blasted, it'll all blend in nicely. And especially when the head's on as well. You know, you won't see it, whereas before it was quite obvious. So that's it, all done. I'm pleased with that. I really am. That one, if you're looking at compared to the picture, I'm just about to show you what that was like. That's come out all right. And that one as well, exactly the same. There's a little tiny bit there, but it's kind of got an indentation there where something's hit it. That's what it is. Again, something's fell against it and knocked it that way, and it's left a little indentation there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.